get more greedy, and some of these players do really shine in this current meta where you can actually, I mean, map is bigger overall, so you're going to get the farm eventually, but he knows, and the whole squad, like, they know how to utilize this farm.
Yeah, and this is non-draft related, but I think Mira as a player is probably one of the most humble we have in the entirety of Dota. And watching him gain confidence over the last few years has been really spectacular, because I recall even after winning TI, he did an interview where he said that he can't believe that he won. He doesn't feel good enough. He doesn't feel on the caliber of previous TI winners, and like he feels imposter syndrome quite often. But I think results speak for themselves. Honestly, you can feel like an imposter as much as you want, but if you're consistently winning when it matters, like, you belong.
Yeah, at some point, the imposter syndrome will go away when you just keep winning. And I think also what helps is this team has had ups and downs as well. I remember, I think it was like pre-Arlington, or they won Arlington, right?
Yep.
And I think like pre-Arlington, they were talking about how like they bombed out of the previous tournament. Maybe it was the major, and they said like, oh yeah, we just suck. We just need to get our shit together, and we will get our shit together. And then they win Arlington. Like this team has had periods where they suck and they just say they're playing bad, and then they say they're going to get better, and then they do. So I feel like that's a huge confidence booster too, to know that you have the correct read on your team.
But this is a very interesting opening, because Shopify, they did not play Invoker at all at the Dream League. We've seen Invoker being played across multiple roles, whether that's position 2, like some position 4, position 5, and also Team Spirit. Like this is something that they started at Riyadh Masters, opening up with Ancient Apparition, kind of started this whole meta thread. Turned into like mid-tournament, and they're gonna do it again, it seems, here in a best of 5.
It's surprising to see it picked up without the direct obvious counter though, so just to see it as like a straight up opener, knowing that it's a bit weak on lane and it doesn't directly counter the one hero pick so far, it's interesting.
I thought he was like really weak in the lane, but then I saw like some of the plays that you can do with the Ancient Apparition, where you like push the wave as a position 5, and then you go through the gates, use your second ability, use Blood Grenade, and it's enough to get the kill. So some even like early TPs from the Ancient Apparition to get the kill. So my opinion about him like not being good at the early stages of the game, especially since the addition of the Blood Grenade, has really changed.
No, but may I mention that I don't think AA is a strong laner, to be honest. Like, he does look good when he's paired up with certain combinations, such as PA or Sven, but Team Spirit have been running Ancient Apparition before it was cool, before it was considered a counter. Like, I remember the last Dream League, they were building around this AA first pick in their draft anyway. This is a Miposhka hero, and they've been playing around it for so long that this is the one team that can open AA without a direct counter, that I will believe in their opener.
Because you think that they're going to pick stuff in the draft to basically combo with it, essentially.
And they've played it time and time again. It's a specialty hero for Miposhka. You guys remember last Dream League, right? When Spirit were experimenting with their first couple of picks way more than any other team. They were overall first picking their anti-mage, and they were building their drafts around AA, which was an untouched hero in every single team's hands except theirs. So at some point during Grand Finals, you bring out your specialties, you bring out your comfort. And the same can be extended to Shopify with their Invoker. I mean, this is an Avid classic, even if he hasn't played it yet. And it just combos so nicely with these hyper carries that you can put Alacrity on, you can pick a Vengeful Spear on top of the Invoker, and you can just all-in buff your OTZ.
What hero did they pair with Ancient Apparition during Riyadh a lot? Do you remember?
There was one game. This is when they started it, Ancient Apparition plus Bristleback. That was the combo, and everybody on the panel was like, what are these guys doing? And they still managed to win that game. I'm not sure who they played against, but it was like something different. They did not like try to go for anything meta pretty much, and this is how Team Spirit are. Like, they are picking some of the meta stuff, but they also have a gigantic hero pool that they can choose from, and they're going to surprise you with some of the picks.
How much do you think that is because it is a best of 5, and if you're gonna go full-on experimentation or trying something different that you wanted to try in game 1, you know, there's no harm, no foul?
Absolutely, in a best of 5, it's a different beast. Like, if you manage to win this first game in a best of 5, where you experimented a lot, it gives you huge advantage, because coming into the second game, you have like huge lead where you can pick pretty much whatever, because you already have 1-0 lead.
And if they lose it, then it's like, okay, well, that was a weird thing that we tried. They beat it right away. We'll go back to meta.
We've seen Spirit do this before too. Like, this was the first team to let the gyro through that we saw in this tournament. We're like, okay, this is an investment. If you can win against the gyro, I think it was against Gaming Gladiators, then the next match, it's like, okay, well, we got the gyro. What the hell do we do? So they do tend to invest in these weird drafts in the first game of a series, so that way the drafting for the rest of the series gets a lot easier for them.
There's one consistent thing that they do throughout this whole Dream League is they never played against Phantom Assassin. They really valued this hero highly. I mean, we can go back to Yatoro, his interview. He talked about who he thinks are the S tier carries, and he mentioned like 4 of them. He didn't think Gyro was good enough, but this is like Sven, Phantom Assassin, Faceless Void, and they either pick Phantom Assassin or they don't play against it. It's that simple.
But he also said that he thinks Gyro isn't a good hero, but Spirit have consistently banned it in every game. They do not give it away. So I feel that maybe that's just a personal opinion of I don't like this carry, but I see its merit.
But the offlaner, the supports don't want to play against it. The carry to carry is fine.
But I do like this Enchantress coming out from Shopify because not only is it something that both of these teams have been running and it's a specialty hero for Fly, but when you have a hero like Invoker potentially going to the mid lane, you have a support that can play around him. You know, Enchantress always rotates to take that mid tower.
Yep.
She wraps through the Dire side. The Dire side is a really interesting entry point into the Radiant mid tower. Like, that's ideal for Enchantresses to come and gank and potentially take a tower. And I mean, the Alacrity on the Enchantress is also a potential combination that I like to see.
This hero's been gaining a lot of popularity. It's usually paired with a stacked farmer. So maybe the next pick from Shopify is some Arteezy stack farming hero, but the 3 good ones are taken out. The PA, the Gyro, the Sven. What's left? What else does he play?
Be some Luna or some Medusa, right? Because there's no inherent... Terrorblade as well, that's a really great call. Because there is no inherent synergy with wanting to create illusions of your carry too, and there's no outright save that you're doing as a Shadow Demon. You're not saving versus a Roar or some kind of hard disable. So you know that this is coming up with an illusion pairing. Or it has to be.
I'm slightly worried for Shopify. These 3 heroes, they can disengage with Disruption, Tornado, but all of these heroes are extremely squishy. You get on top of them, 1 roll, 1 Ancient Apparition Blast, it's gonna be like almost immediate death. And also, both Shadow Demon and Enchantress, they don't like to play into these backline jumpers, so if they get another hero for collapse, like Mars maybe, or this one, something that can just get on top of them, they could be in a lot of trouble.
It's a little different for Shopify. They've been picking their Venge often as their second support, but Shadow Demon does offer better offensive solutions against potential carries. Burst has been picked a decent amount by Yatoro. It's decently countered by Demonic Purge.
Definitely less. It's less good now though with the Centaur coming out, like the Demonic Purge. That slow through BKB. Centaur ult is one of the only things in the game that counteracts that.
And it gives you decent lane kill potential as well with the Centaur. It's really where the value has come from the hero so far this tournament. A little unexpected, but Double Edge and Hoof Stomp, it's a pretty good nuke potential. It gives you the ability to pressure the carry or to potentially kill a hero like Enchantress with some quick magic burst.
Defensive disruptions, like, they're going to be buying time for Ancient Apparition ulti to stop thinking, and then you'll have Centaur with the Stomp, Earth Spirit with the roll in, so it might be a setup. Like, you're going to be really careful how you use this defensive disruption in terms of setting things up for an enemy team.
I'm sure they'd prefer to be playing like Dark Willow as their 4 here with these 2 frontliners. Instead, they're going to go for a Phoenix. So they could switch positions. It could be a 4 maybe. I don't know if a Centaur's enemy. It's probably good. I mean, you're Ice Vortexing all of Centaur's magic damage, Hoof Stomp, both feet.
I prefer 4 Phoenix. Sorry.
For what reason?
It's just stronger as a 4. You get more levels, and Phoenix is a hero that tends to sit in farm lanes anyway at certain points of the game, and it does it way better than an Ancient Apparition 4. And also, like I mentioned, it's a Miposhka specialty. He's been consistently playing the Ancient Apparition even before this match.
Okay.
Also, you have the insane damage coming out of Spirits plus Sunray on top of the Centaur Stun, which I really like. And I wanted to also mention the potential loads of healing reduction coming out of Spirit. You've got the Ice Blast into the Vessel purchase from either the Phoenix or the Earth Spirit. It can be either now, which opens up more itemization coming from your mid-Earth Spirit. If he doesn't have to build Vessel and Phoenix is doing it, suddenly he can have the Blade Mail into Heart that much faster. And Invoker is a hero that's heavily dependent on his regen from Ghostwalk. And so is Enchantress with her Nature's Attendance. So
that's a good point.
There's a lot of ways for Spirit to play into Shopify's heroes.
The only downside is they're all magic damage on Spirit side. It's very synergistic, but hypothetically a pipe would be great.
There's not going to be much carries left in the pool because both teams, they need the last pick to carry. We already seen like 4 carries being removed from the pool. I think it could have potentially be like a good Ursa game for Shopify, if they want to run it, they do have Shadow Demon, like one of the better counters in the game against Ursa. You might need someone else to kill this egg, because right now I see Alacrity. They do have Beastmaster Aura. Maybe I overlooked that a little bit, but I could see something like very explosive coming out from Shopify in the last pick.
My concern with the potential Ursa coming out of Shopify is it does look really good on paper, but there's no synergy with the Shadow Demon. Like, Ursa doesn't farm the stacks that Shadow Demon makes. I guess you can give them to your Beastmaster, and that's still good, but then there's no target that you disrupt on Shopify with your Shadow Demon. Because if you look at this Beastmaster and this Enchantress, there's a lot of push. There's a lot of tower push coming out from Shopify, so if you have a Terror Blade and you're making illusions of him, and you're playing with the Beastmaster Aura.
I think the other option could be Bloodseeker, because you're playing against Phoenix. He's always on low HP, and if you want to use Stampede as a defensive tool, you're still going to get like damage from the Rupture.
You think even against AA? Because I feel like the whole spell lifesteal build with the Ags is like
that could be tricky.
AA.
I think there's a lot of things that they need to like cover on side of Shopify Rebellion, because there's a lot of counters here.
TA hits Egg for sure, and she synergizes well with Beastmaster. She also plays into Shopify's tempo that is going to be set by their Beast and their Enchantress. All of a sudden, you've got early Roshan. You've got that 20-minute snowball timing that looks pretty scary for Spirit now, honestly.
And it feels like a lot of the supports that are in the meta right now are not very survivable against these like carry solo killer type heroes like the TA. So I feel like TA should be able to get a lot of kills this game. And they go for PL, the other illusion here that wasn't banned in the final phase.
It's not countered so badly by the Beastmaster like it used to be, because the
recent changes.
Yeah, the illusions take less damage or give less healing to the Beastmaster when he has the bongo drums.
I don't feel like he's going to be playing on bongo drums anyway, right? It feels like an aura push kind of game. I mean, right now it's the classic that we've seen time and time again of the early tempo versus the late game carry, the hyper carry on Spirit. So the question is, will Spirit be able to endure to that 40-minute mark where the PL can carry? Because he's gone uncountered in Shopify's draft, or are they just going to get run over by Shopify's tempo because they have a lot of it?
At Shopify, they definitely feel like slightly on the clock in this matchup, because PL, he's on the slower side when it comes down to carries, especially if you go for this Aghanim Scepter build into Diffusal, which takes a lot of time, which also means that Team Spirit, they need to play with 4 different heroes. The good thing is Lara's going to be playing Earth Spirit, so I think this hero from the mid lane checks a lot of the boxes and can make a lot of stuff happen in these side lanes.
Shopify definitely has some damage issues, though. Like outside, it's Beast, Shadow Demon, Enchantress. Like it's gonna take. You're gonna need. Aren't they gonna need TA there in a lot of cases to?
I don't
kill
agree.
you?
I think Invoker is enough, and Shadow
They
Demon
rely
do a lot of damage
on getting early Roshan on side of Shopify, so they can get second Roshan and try to close the game from there. If this game goes on for more than 40 minutes, Team Spirit has this one.
A lot of theory crafting, a lot dependent on timing here for the first game of this best of 5 in the grand finals. Before we head over to OD Pixel and Fog, though, a short intermezzo with the Pucktem Pandas.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get into the action here at Game 1 of the best of 5 between Team Spirit and Shopify Rebellion. Both teams here in the grand finals today playing for that first place prize of $300,000.
Big money.
A lot of money on the line, folks. We've had the 2 drafts come up. Well, what do you reckon about this? Listening to the panel, seems like they feel Shopify, they got to play this fast. And that is something that we know Shopify can do. They already did it earlier today. They had quite the stomp they were able to pull off in one of the games.
Absolutely. I mean, their lineup is all built about getting that early pressure, getting early Roshan, and just slamming those early objectives. Tons of ways to take these objectives with the Beast, the Ench, the TA, if they're off to good starts in the laning phase. So let's see if they're going to be able to do that, because they did pick a lot of these heroes that they do have successful lanes with as well, too, right? The Enchantress, taking a look at some stats, it's got like a 75% win rate here at this tournament. It's been guaranteeing most of the safe lanes for the carries. And yeah, this Beastmaster overall, the tempo has been set from this hero for the entire forever since this hero's been inside of Dota, but even more so lately. And let's see what goes down.
Trying to get aggressive here onto Meposhka. And with the slow, they should have this first blood. Another grenade thrown out. He's got the Fairy Fire. I bet he wants the first blood. He's not going to end up getting it. Fly will. But nonetheless, first blood here for the team of Shopify.
All right. I mean, that's exactly how you want to start things off. Fly, he'll get that first blood, right? So See what he tries to bring up here to help out Arteezy more. He's just gonna have a wand and stuff like that. So yeah, let's see how these lanes do go down. They have very, very strong ones on the side of Shopify. For Spirit, it's a much more greedy draft that they've gone around. Still can play aggressive though, as we've seen. Spirit overall, it seems like he always has a good game. I don't think I've seen a single game in this tournament where Spirit has a bad 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes, that is.
But overall, you would say that if this game does start to slow down, if Shopify Rebellion make a couple of mistakes going for the laning phase into the mid game, it is going to fall towards the favor of the Spirit and towards the favor of this last pick PL from Yatoro.
Definitely. There's just lack of disables, lack of control, unless they have some crazy leader itemization that they can get for a lot of things. It's not even just the PL. Like, at some points in the game, there's going to be these Stampedes, an Earth Spirit rolling around, a PL going around too. So, yeah, it could fall into some issues of dealing with these later game heroes. Let's see how Laurel does in the mid lane too. I've seen a couple times where the Invoker can punish the Earth Spirit, but also I've seen a couple times where the Earth Spirit does do just fine even in this matchup. So all about those first few waves, about the lane positioning as well. And Laurel, he did get the block level 1 because Abed went for the first blood, so positioning for Laurel's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but both of these mid players have come out with some real hot stuff. So far this tournament, Abed and Lal.
I mean, Abed's been winning almost every single mid matchup, it seems like. But Laurel, I think I've talked about him so much about how much he's improved this year. He has been one of the top mids now for the last like 5-6 months. He's just gained so much confidence. It feels like. I feel like I wouldn't see Laurel at the Lima Major do the plays that he's been doing when he's just been like charging in 1 versus 4 and stuff like that on his Earth Spirit. So a treat to watch.
So looking at the top lane, Fly, as you say, Enchantress is a hero, and Fly in particular, and working some absolute magic, especially in the laning stage with this hero. But with this sort of lane setup, does this secure quite a safe space for Arteezy at the start of this game, or is it likely the Spirit, once the levels come in, can put pressure onto this TA early?
Blood Grenade's a pretty valuable tool always versus Templar Assassin, so depending on lane positioning. If Fly can keep the lane pulled back, then TA should be able to farm. But if the lane pushes too much, then that's where the issue can come. So we'll have to just see where that lane is in particular. Mira, take a solid melted. A lot of ring of protections in that top lane. 3 ring of protections to deal with the TA's physical damage.
So far, on the other side of the map down bottom, Saberlight and Yatoro getting just the same amount out of this lane.
So far, looking pretty good for them down bottom. Now, I like what they were talking about, the AA overall. The hero has always suffered a bit in the laning phase, but times have definitely gotten a lot better for this hero in the recent few patches. And I've actually been liking the that blink build that a lot of players are doing. It's really clever because then you don't have to wait for this AA blast to fly. They actually just blink right on top of the target and bam, and blow them up. So it's actually a pretty cool approach. Maybe we'll see something like that at some points in this game, but it is Miposhka playing it, so unsure if he'll be able to get that type of farm. But top connection lands on Arteezy. He could be in trouble.
Oh, they've got him with the Blood Grenade. They're chasing him down. The body blocks here from Mira. Arteezy's refraction's still on cooldown for a couple of seconds, but he's got the meld. He's actually ready to turn. Gets another hit onto Mira. Mira's got the Fire Spirits out. It doesn't matter. Shopify Rebellion. 2 of them. Arteezy and Fly able to take him down. Arteezy will survive.
Collapse saw a window to get the stun, but Mira didn't have the Fire Spirits up just yet. A decent attempt, but turned very quickly. I think, yeah, 10 stick charges, maybe catching them slightly off guard. Oh, Collapse catches him off guard.
Well, it's the beginning of a best of 5. You know, get the rusty plays out the way early.
That's not one you want to give up, though. That's Collapse's Vanguard. So now Collapse, I mean, he's not getting touched in this top lane with that. He's going to be able to sit up here freely.
You know, the Centaur of old would not have been able to do that. You know, Arteezy's played the game for a long time. Nowadays, this Centaur's who's stomping and he's moving.
This is true.
It catches you by surprise.
Very early Vanguard being finished up. Abed slightly ahead in the denies overall, but Laurel, he's handling this lane. Yatoro seems to be the one who is struggling the most. Crit.
Easy courier.
Is he?
He'll be ready to battle Miposhka a little bit. Top lane, Arteezy back in action. So yeah, Collapse. Not really going to be a target.
No, Vanguard double rings.
He can kind of get what he wants out of this lane now.
So far, pretty good though. Fly still continue to bring that action. A TP coming in. Laurel moving
want to try
fast.
And get aggressive in return here. Team Spirit dive forward. Arteezy,
the connection, though.
Lal not quite able to get the grab onto the TA. Arteezy's fine and Fly's got the heels pumping.
Good awareness. I mean, very quick move back there from them. And now that's where Abed's going to pull far ahead inside that mid matchup. Fly really wants to try to get Mirror. It's close.
Might just have him.
Got him.
Just goes in under the tower. Collapses also low. Fly. Is he going to be able to step onto the two of them? I mean, collapse. Of course, as you say, beefy with these 2 rings of protection.
There's another meld soon.
Again, with the meld hit. I mean, RT's going to have refraction up as well. This should be an easy kill. It is indeed. Fly's aggression there, setting up for Shopify to get the 2 kills up top.
That's a massive kill.
With a Vanguard.
Yeah. And even maybe Miposhko, one more poison. Yeah, he's dead.
I mean, this is what Shopify need with this sort of draft. They're heating things up here in the laning stage, getting these early kills. 5-1, 5 minutes in, and a 2K lead.
I mean, the Fly Enchantress, this is a thing that's just been winning most of these lanes. Even when Miposhka's been playing it too, this hero just seems to be on the rise. Big kills. Artesia ready with treads, finished up 1,000 gold now to his name. All 3 lanes going well. Exactly as they need to get that snowball going so they can get these objectives for this lineup.
And sort of lull with the movements that he's tried to make. It's just giving complete space to Abed. Abed's now able to get the CS lead. Of course, hit those early levels and get a good timing on the urn when he's able to get that delivered.
Looks like it should just be a wisdom rune for wisdom rune exchange. Toro, though, taking a beating here from Saberlight.
A lot of damage here from Saberlight.
He's got the boar hit on him, too, and the rotation's coming from Fly.
Saberlight could just look to run him down.
They might have him. They should.
I don't think there's any save in this PL. Nobody's going to even TP down to try. There's nothing they could do to help Yatoro out in that sort of situation. Very much underestimating how much Saberlight would just right-click him down as he stepped all the way up.
That's the Dominator already finished. It is super early. This is an incredible tempo that Shopify is already starting to set off of this laning phase. And they're going to get the stack started, too. The beauty about having the Shadow Demon and the Enchantress, really, when you're playing with a TA, going to get those stacks started to enable her even faster. This bot tower might just go down.
Now, big levels as well, especially on the support, right? Fly with those moves up top, getting involved in the 2 kills coming down bottom. He's pretty much about to hit the 6, whereas for Spirit, their 2 supports still only sitting halfway through level 4.
Huge moments here. Collapse still not level 6 either. Yeah, this tower, it's gone. Saberlight going to be able to hit 6, and now without this tower here, he can start making moves all over the place too, and the supports are completely free. So Crit and Fly, they can look to continue putting pressure anywhere they really want to with this type of start.
Now what's the move now for Spirit? I mean, it's got to be kind of rallying around Laurel.
Move Laurel around. Yep, exactly.
Move Laurel around and somehow get the levels on the supports right. They need the Ice Blast.
They do, but the thing is too, is like Laurel, he's actually had to opt for arcade boots this game. Something you really don't see almost ever, but he's playing versus this Invoker that must be annoying him a lot with these EMPs, so.
Okay.
And it's going to delay his item timing a lot, and his scaling potential too, because it's not just the Blade Mail that makes this Earth Spirit, it's also the treads, everything, because you are putting in these right clicks, so. An incredible start from Shopify.
He's trying to escape Lyle. Saberlight, he's going to set up with an easy kill on him. They
want more
from Lyle as well. They've got the disruption set up.
What a tornado!
Catch him perfectly at the end of the disruption into the cold snap. Shopify, they're turning up. And here in this game 1, 3K lead. They're doing exactly what you want to be seeing from them when they have this sort of draft. They're doing again what we saw them manage to do in that draft against BetBoom earlier today.
Absolutely.
They're starting to run Spirit over here in these first few minutes.
A mid tower's dead too. Spirit gonna need to have something to bring things together. They just don't have the levels just yet, like you said, on the supports. And now Laurel, 2 rotations that don't work and then getting caught.
How does Spirit slow this down?
It's a great question. Because yeah, Crit now, he's even, as we said, getting the stacks. It's perfect timings here for Shopify. Everything is working in their favor. I think they just keep having to move, though. I don't think Laurel can actually just like sit back and farm. You have to try to get some moves.
Yeah, he's never going to be able to keep up by hitting the creeps now. They've got to go all in. Now find Saberlight. He's going to go for the TP out, and he's away.
Oh my God.
That's got to hurt. That's got to hurt.